Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of my life, basically. Today is Sunday, February 26th. It's pretty late. I'm hanging out with Mina right now. I think she's grabbing a snack. We've got the FaceTime, face chat, whatever going on. Um, so she's listening to me ramble on about the past couple days. Um, But we're gonna go ahead and backtrack it to the final day of month number 8, day number 20, I do believe. 1 of the first 10, 15. Yeah, day number 20 of month 8. It was a short day, actually. Very eventful, though. I'll give it that. A very eventful day. It was the final lab for Audiotronix. I'd taken the exam on Wednesday. I think I made a video about that the other day. And yeah, I mean, it was just, I don't know, it was an all right lab. It turned out good. It wasn't bad, but it was kind of annoying, and I don't know, it was kind of funny. Mina kind of laughed at me when I told her about my morning that day, but it was just one of those days where, it kind of sucked a little bit. So, 8 o'clock rolls around. 8 o'clock in the morning. My alarm goes off. I press the button, and I crawl back in bed. 8:40 rolls around. I have 20 minutes to get out of the bed, in the shower, dressed, and over to FS 3F, FS 3F, where the lab room is. So I look at the clock, and I'm just like, oh God, please, somebody help me, because 20 minutes is not a long time. So I knew I was driving to school that day, and it was seriously it was the quickest I'd ever gotten ready in a long time. I'm talking, I got in the shower for 2 seconds, got dressed, and was out the door. No time to brush teeth, no time for no breakfast, nothing. So I ran out the door, and I brought my computer, and I had my Audiotronix lab book or whatever it was. And, I roll out the door, I get there, and everyone else is already there. I thought I was going to be late. But I wasn't, luckily. Anyway, so I roll in there, and I see everybody else. They have, you remember the stereo ear kit, the little microphone kit we made? I see everyone else is sitting out on their desk, right? And then I also see, Yamin's laughing at me right now, and I also see the Blinky LED kit and the Decision Maker LED kit. I don't know where they're at right now, but I've shown them in the previous videos if you've checked those out. Anyway, so they were grading those, and I was like, oh God, I forgot mine. So I walked up to my instructor, who was also one of our lab techs, and I was like, hey Chris, look, I forgot my stereo ear kit. Can I run back home and grab it real quick? And he was like, yeah man, go ahead. He's like, it's no problem. So I ran out the building, got in the car, drove as fast as I could back to the house, grabbed the stereo ear kit, and notice how earlier I mentioned I didn't really pay any attention to the Blinky LED or the Decision Maker. So I grabbed the stereo ear kit, run back to the school, and I'm like, alright, I got it, it's good. And that's when I saw that they were also grading the other 2 circuits that we made, and I'm just like, fuck my life, man. This must just be one of those days, So I was like, alright. I'll explain what's going on. So, as we had to go along, and they didn't grade mine because I wasn't there while they were grading the circuits, but they handed out the written test, and we had to identify certain, component parts and draw the schematic symbol. And then we also had to identify some of the connector types and and there were actually a lot of things we did that day. But at one point, they had to, there were different checkpoints along the exam where the lab techs would have to sign off on it. And so Chris came by and was signing off on one of mine, and I was like, hey Chris, and he was like, yeah, what's up, man? And I was like, yeah, I don't really know how to explain this other than I'm just having one of those days. And he was like, yeah, dude, what's going on? You okay? And I was like, well, I forgot my other 2 circuits. And he's like, all right. And so he walks over to one of the other lab techs, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna be in the office later, right?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right." And he was like, "Andrew here forgot his 2 circuits. If he brings them by the office later, could you check them off for him?" And I was like, "Thank you, sweet infant baby Jesus, for having them understand." So Chris was totally cool about it, and it ended up working out in my favor. We'll get to how it worked out, but it ended up working out in my favor. And that's one of the things that I actually learned from Drumline, of all places, is if you have a problem, just say it. Don't make excuses. Don't try to cover it up or wait till later. Just throw it out there, and that's better than waiting or doing any of the before mentioned. So I talked to Chris, and we got it all sorted out, and it was cool. And for the exam, like I said, we had to do a lot of stuff. We had to rebuild our XLR cable, so we had to desolder and resolder the XLR cable. And I did that one perfectly. I got 100 on the XLR cable. We had to use the oscillator and the O-scope and do some problems with those. Got 100 on those. And then we also had to do these, check for the working channels on, what was it, a headphone amplifier and then a 3-way crossover. And I got some of the ones on that wrong. I got all the, for example, the question was, what channels in the headphone amplifier are wrong? So you had to write what amplifier you were on and then what channels are wrong. And actually, I got all those right. And then we had to do continuity tests on a bunch of different cables, and that's where I went a little wrong. So some of the cables, the way we had to document it, I didn't document it the right way. So I got the fact that they weren't working correctly, but I didn't get the documentation correct. So that was a few points off. And then there was also a part where they had 2 voltage regulators, and you had to put, well, were they positive or negative, or what types of voltage regulators, and I got that wrong, so that was a couple points off. All in all, I got I think it was a 94 or a 93 on the whole thing, so I'm happy with that. That's fine. But once I actually got all that checked off, got all the written stuff done and taken care of, I walked over to my other lab tech, the one that wasn't Chris. I can't remember the guy's name. I feel bad. But I told him, I was like, look, I can be home and back here in less than 10 minutes, and thanks for letting me turn these in late, essentially, because they were due at the beginning of the lab. And he was like, okay, well, hey, no problem. He was like, if you can make it back here real quick, I'll still be here. But any later than that, I'll be over in the office. So I ran home again and grabbed my other 2 circuits and brought them back. He checked them off, got 100 on those. So, rockstar status. It was cool. The only other things that they had to grade were the, the schematic drawing for the stereo ear kit, and then also the essay. So those were the other 30 points that were going to be added on to the lab grade. So I'm pretty sure I got an A+ on the lab practical for Audiotronix. Like I said, it was just one of those days. It was just it was annoying as hell. But I got through it. It all worked out. Audiotronix as a whole, it was a pretty cool class. I learned a lot from it, like how all the the gear works and everything, and how to fix stuff and how to tell what's broken and all that. So it was very valuable information again. So just along with its counterpart, the electricity class, Audiotronix is very important, I think. And some people may not really realize it, but that's definitely one of the things that's going to set you apart from the other interns or just whatever. Is if something goes wrong with a piece of studio equipment and you're like, oh, well, I can check that out. I know how to fix that. Not only do you save the studio money, but you probably just got yourself a job, you know what I mean? So, it's what's up. And I don't know how to dig into it too much. I don't have a soldering kit. I don't have a lot of the things that are necessary, but I know how to do the stuff, so, that's pretty cool. But, yeah, all in all, Audiotronix was a pretty cool class. And Chris was an awesome instructor, like you probably could tell from just him being cool with me the other day. But yeah, like I said, today is Sunday. It's been a pretty busy weekend, no doubt. Friday was the last day of all the classes, which was exciting. Saturday came around and there was Winter Guard International, or WGI, had their Orlando regional competition over at Wakita or Wevakita or some high school over in Apopka, and I got to see Strike Percussion and Infinity Percussion in the lot. So that was pretty ballin' because I was like the only person that was watching them. So it was like they were performing for me. No, but seriously, it was pretty cool. I wish I would have had a camera, and I've got this camera right here, and I charged it up and everything. But lo and behold, I have no SD card. Urgh. So I couldn't. I mean, even though it's charged up, I couldn't record anyway because there's no memory space. And I know I have an extra SD card laying around here somewhere, but I don't know where it's at, so I gotta find it. But yeah, I could have gotten so much footage that night, or last night rather, because like I said, I mean, Infinity warmed up for a long time, and I would have gotten some pretty cool shots of them too. But you know what? It was one of those things where I was like, Dad, just never mind. I'm just gonna enjoy it and just watch it, and it was great. So that was pretty awesome. And then tonight, actually, like I mentioned in the previous video, I just got home from the Full Sail Oscar Awards, which is basically, it was just a giant party, really, with the Oscars. And it was at the live venue, got there pretty early, got in, got to walk the red carpet and get on the camera and everything. And there was free food, free Red Bull, free cookies. Tijuana Flats catered it. And there was also free pizza as well. So tons of free food, tons of free chips and salsa. And they had the huge projector screen and TVs going where we were just, all of us, however many of us were in there, were just watching the Oscars together, and it was great. One of the highlights of the night, I think, was they showed a clip from Twilight, and everybody in the whole room booed. I mean, it was like a hardcore boo! Like, it was bad. But in that way, it was hilarious. So that was funny. And then also, so they had the big main projector screen, and then two huge actual TVs kind of on the sides of the stage, and then on the very side, I guess the sides of the venue, they had two more projector screens, but it was for a Twitter feed. So basically, if you tweeted hashtag FS Oscars, Full Sail would they might retweet your tweet or whatever, I guess, and they would show up on the big screen. So that was pretty cool. And Mina was keeping up with us too. So it was like she was there because we were texting the whole time and she was posting stuff up on the board and it was showing up, and then we were all just tweeting stuff and it was showing up on the board. It was a great time. I had a blast. And so that was pretty cool. And I snagged some pictures of some of her tweets or twits or whatever they're called that was on the big screen, and so that was great. And they were giving away awards and stuff, like on the commercial breaks. They would turn the TV part off and hand the microphone over to our actual hosts, and they would have little mini games, and they had a raffle drawing for prizes and stuff, and it was free. All the raffle tickets were free. You just show the lady your ID and you get a raffle ticket. And they gave away lots of prizes and stuff throughout the night. So it was a great time. I didn't win anything. But then again, it was like one of those things where it was mainly for film students. So I wouldn't have known what to do with any of the prizes. The only thing that I would have minded actually winning was the Apple TV. That would have been pretty cool. But, I mean, I'm already pretty happy with the stuff I have now. So, it's all good. But it was a great time. I had a blast. So the Full Sail Academy Awards party was great, and people were all dressed up and everything. And I think Mina's been rubbing off on me a lot, actually, because I went and I looked like a rock star tonight. It was pretty cool. Like, forget the suit and tie, man. I went in like rock star status clothes, So I changed out of them now, but it was pretty cool nonetheless. And then tomorrow, I do believe this is video number 99. Holy cow, has it really been that long since I've started doing these videos? So yeah, tomorrow is going to be my 100th video. I have no idea. I wanted to make it something special, but Mina's not here, and I haven't really planned ahead for it. So I don't think it'll be anything too special, but I'll try to catch stuff throughout the day. And actually, I don't think it is tomorrow. I think Tuesday is going to be the 100th video because I guess technically I do start month number 9 tomorrow with my online class. Um, but Tuesday is the first day that I have actual campus class for this month. So it's either going to be tomorrow or Tuesday. But either way it goes, I'm going to just get footage throughout the day and basically get my entire day on video because it's a special day. Video number 100, man, like that's crazy. Like when I started looking into Full Sail, I remember looking up the life at Full Sail and what it's like and what people have to say about it, and the only videos I found was like maybe one video for the entire month, and they would only talk for like 5-10 minutes, and as I came up to my start date, it was just like, that's just not enough. Like that is just not enough information to really give some detail about it. And I guess I decided to go to the extreme and and document all of it, man. Sometimes I'm looking at it and I'm just like, gosh, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, who would do that? Because I've searched, and I guess Mina's searched around too a little bit when she was watching the videos a lot, and between the both of us, I have not found one single other person that does as many videos about Full Sail as I do. I think I am the only one that does a video every day. I could be wrong, and I probably am, but as of today, I've not found another person that gives as much detail or depth as I do. And I try to do my best. I promise I'm not being cocky or, what's the word, I can't think of the word, self-centered or conceited. I promise I'm not being conceited. It's just I haven't found anybody else that does it like I do. So, I don't know. I'm pretty proud of myself. I've stuck with it, except for December. December was, like I said, probably the black sheep of all the videos in months. But that was just an insane month. But anyway, guys, we'll talk more tomorrow. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. And I just, what, I will go ahead and make tomorrow the video for number 100 or whatever. I might as well, so yeah, I'll see you then. It should be a great day tomorrow. I'm going to film like the whole day. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like a freaking hour-long video, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to kind of see what comes up, spur of the moment, and spontaneity and all that jazz. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is video number 99 for Full Sail. It's going crazy. People are going crazy and recognizing me and stuff. It's wild. So I hope you've been digging the videos. Tomorrow's going to mark number 1. If you've watched all the videos up, I haven't done the math yet, but I'm going to do the math tomorrow and see like how long, if you've watched every single one of my videos, you've spent me rambling on about this place. It's a great school. I love it here. And I don't know. So I guess until next time, I hope you guys are having a good day, night, morning, evening, whatever, or whenever you're watching. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.